If you have a lot of N8N workflows and sometimes some of them fail and then keep failing, keep erroring, and you have no clue, this will fix that. Okay, so I have a solution for you, a solution that I use always. I have been using for almost a year or more. Yeah, let's jump into it. So as you can see here, we have this N8N workflow called failed execution. I will give you the, what is called, the link to download this workflow, so you can just import it. As you can see, we have only 3 nodes. Okay, the first node is error trigger. So what this means is whenever you put this trigger into workflow, that means if I go to this workflow, for example, and then I go here, and then I go to settings, as you can see here, error workflow, you can choose a workflow. Okay, for example, in this case, I chose this one, failed execution. Okay, you always need to make it unique, so it's easy to identify whenever you are searching for it here. So let's go back to this. As you can see, we have error trigger. So whenever, for example, in this workflow, whenever I save this one as the error workflow, whenever an error happens in this workflow, okay, it will trigger this workflow. Easy. And then we have set node with a bunch of variables, and then here create task. In this case, I have in my CRM ClickUp, or you can choose whatever other CRM you want, or for example, you can also send an email. Okay. The second part I need to show you is what I have set in my ClickUp. Okay, so if I go like this, as you can see here in ClickUp, I have a list called tasks, and then I created a new view called N8N, or you can do failed executions or whatever. And then I have a filter here whenever the name of the task contains workflow execution failed, because if I go here, as you can see, I have the title always is set to workflow execution failed, and then whatever the workflow name is there. So let me show you how it looks like. As you can see, this is the payload, what it looks like. We have the execution ID, execution URL, and then the details about the error. Okay, and also we have the workflow ID and the name right here. Here we have the details about the error itself. Here what we have is workflow ID mode. Yeah, if you want to do advanced stuff, for example, if it's a webhook, if you want to retry it or something like that, you can. Yeah, here what we need is workflow ID, execution ID, URL, and then the execution error, so we can have it in the actual task. I will show you. As you can see here, we have created task. What we do is the content of the description of the task, we put all the information related to the error. We have the name of the workflow itself, and then the failed node, what's the node, and then the message, what's the message, the error message. And then we have links. We have the first link is to the workflow, and the second link is to the execution. So it's easy to navigate. Let me show you how. After you configure this, you can also add some custom fields. I didn't do right here, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's save it. Now when you have this workflow configured like this, easy, 3 nodes, nothing more. And always, like, pro tip, make sure the error messages or like the notifications go somewhere where you check regularly. Okay, I don't recommend your email because it will be messy. Just put a list somewhere, for example, a Slack channel or a Discord channel or whatever, so you can check it every day, or like it doesn't distract you. At the same time, it's somewhere where you check regularly. So for me, I put them in ClickUp, and then as I said, you go to all of your workflows, you go to here settings, and then you can do failed execution, select the workflow right here, and then click save. In the actual here, you can't activate it, okay, because there is this trigger. Don't worry, just make sure to save it and select the workflow right here. Let's test it. Let's disconnect this and let's put, for example, this. I don't have credentials set to here. Okay, now it's linked to this, so the agent won't work. Let's open Telegram. As you can see, this is the Telegram right here, and let's do this. Okay, so let's try. Hey, as you can see, directly, instantly, I got a new record in this list. If I open it, as you can see, I have what's the name of the workflow, the name of the failed node, and also the message right here. I can just click here and it will take me straight to the failed execution. Yeah, there was an error in the configuration here itself. Let me edit it. So the name of the workflow should be here and then like this. So let's test it again. As I can see, another test. Nice. We have a new one. Let's open it. Click here. Straight to the failed node, to the failed execution. Then you can configure it or solve the issue And then when you are finished, you can move it to done and you're set, or you can delete it, whatever. Yeah, that's it. If you had value out of this video or learned something new, just let me know.